So I just find that page again. Where's it gone? There it is. Present. So, sorry, David. Yes, if you wanted to say, please wait for the train, then you would say densha or mate kudasai.
Oh, so there's no just or method.
No, it's
okay.
You say the thing that you're actually waiting for, densha or mate kudasai.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so and then the last one is kairu. So again, this ru disappears completely and gets replaced with e. So Yari, how would you say, please go home? Please go home.
Ie ni kaette kudasai.
Yeah, exactly. Ie ni kaete kudasai. Kaete kudasai. Good. Thanks, Yari. Okay, so that's one group. That's the red ones. So they all transform the same way. And then there's this one unique group, which is the ku and gu group. And that changes just by taking the ku or the gu off the end and replacing it with ite for ku and ide for gu. Okay, ite and ide. So we've got two here, kaku for right and oyogu for swim. Let me just see who else is. Amanda, are you here?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, thank you. How would you say, please write? Please write.
Sorry, what was the?
Oh, so kaku, if you look at the screen, it's here. Kaku is right. Yeah.
Okay.
Change that to the imperative.
Kakite.
Not kakite. So the ku disappears completely and is replaced by ite.
Kite.
No,
Kite.
ka. So this part here, sorry, I don't have the screen.
Sorry, I missed a bit because I had to go to look.
That's right. I'm also not using the pointer. I'm now using the pointer. So the stem remains the same. This ka part remains the same.
Yeah.
The ku disappears and is replaced by ite.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be
kaite.
Yes, exactly. Kaite, 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 kaite. And then, sorry, it's on demand. It's difficult to remember who's here. Marcus, how would you say please swim?
Sorry, unmute. Oyoide?
Yeah, exactly. Oyoide, oyoide. So you pronounce that really nice and clearly. Oyoide, oyoide, oyoide. Good. Thanks, Marcus. So that one's fairly easy to remember. There's only one of those. We also have this su.
And
yeah.
With the kaku verb, you pronounce it kaite or kaite. The same. You take the e or take it I.
So actually, like most of Japanese, we should give every syllable equal emphasis. So it should come out quite flat. It should be kaite, kaite, kaite.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
If you, for example, Tom, if you actually emphasized if you made it te at the end, but by context, it was clear you're talking about writing. If you said hon, which is book, hon o kaite kudasai, then you would be understood. It wouldn't be a problem really, but it's kaite. Yeah.
But you don't do it with the o. With the o, it's oyoite.
Oyoide.
It's not oide.
No. So this part oyo remains in place, and then the gu becomes ide. So it's oyoide. In one smooth pronunciation, that becomes oyoide, oyoide. So again, it's quite monotonous, really. It's quite flat. Oyoide.
Oyoide is wrong, eh? So, to be clear.
One more time.
Or it's oyoide.
No, that sounds okay.
Also good.
Yeah, it's you're not over. You at the moment you're not overemphasizing any particular thing. I can hear there's a little bit of emphasis on oyoide.
In Dutch, it's a sound oi. That's why it's confusing.
Oh, okay. So it is oyoide, oyoide, oyoide. So this oi sound is exactly in there. It's definitely there. Oyoide. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Then. Sorry. Come on. Su is also a unique group as well. So the su is completely replaced with shte. So o is the stem and su is the suffix. So su just becomes shte. So let me just remember who is. Oh, Harry, how would you say please push?
Oshite.
Yeah, just simply oshite. And how would you also say please stab or please put your sword in your obi, Harry? So sasu was the
Sashite.
yeah, simply sashite. Sashite. Good. And then finally, the last group are these three in purple. So the nu, the bu, and the mu all become unde. So we've got shinu to die, yobu to call, and yomu to swim. I'm just going to see more reviews somehow if I can expand this gallery view. There we go. So Wayne, how would you say die like this?
Shinde.
Yeah, exactly. Shinde. Not something you'd normally say, but yeah, shinde.
Hi.
And John, how would you say please call me next week?
来週、読んで、私の読んでください。
So watashi o. Please call.
私を。
Yeah. Or you could say please call to me, please call at me, which would be
と。
not to, but towards something. What's the
に
direction?
に
Yeah. So can you say the whole sentence again, please?
そう、来週、私に読んでください。
Exactly. 来週私に読んでください. And then let's see, Naska, how would you say? So yomu is to read. How would you say please read a book? So book is hon.
本読んでください。
Yeah, exactly. Hon o yonde kudasai. Hon o yonde kudasai. Now, as Yadi said, there's no difference in call and read. Both of these are yonde. But by context, you would know which one you're talking about. We have, in our own languages, we have lots of homophones, which are words which sound exactly the same way and are spelt the same way, but we know by the context which we're talking about. So a good example in English is a row of books and row your boat. These are both spelt R-O-W, but you know that if I say a row of books, I'm not talking about putting a book onto the water and trying to go across to the other side of the river. You know it's talking about a row. Yeah. Okay. In our last couple of minutes before I ask for any questions, the last bit of advice I would give you guys is learn, for example, this whole group of verbs here. Just learn one example of every single group. So ao, kaku, osu, matsu, shinu, yobu, yomu, and kairu. Learn, just get these ones. How many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 words. If you can memorize these ones and memorize how they turn into the te form, then you can change any group one verb into the imperative. And if you can use the te form, if you can make the imperative, then you can do so much with your Japanese. You can start to construct some really complicated sentences to say exactly what you want to say. So this, I would suggest, should be your homework for this week, is being able to transform these 8 verbs into their te form. Remembering that there's only 4 ways of doing it. You just have to remember the groups that these are in. Okay, so these slides are on Facebook, so you can reference these if you so wish. Okay, guys, do you want to unmute yourselves? Actually, Effie, can you remain muted because you've got a lot of background noise, but unmute yourself if you've got a question. Any questions, guys? Wow, good, all perfectly understood. So to remind ourselves, this week we've done Group 1 and Group 2 and Group 3 tenses in the past tense, the present tense, and the negative. Ikimasu, ikimasen, negative. Ikimashita, ikimasen deshita. Yeah. We've done the imperative for Group 2 verbs. So that was really simple. We take off the ru at the end and put te, tabete, mite. And we've done the Group 3 verbs as well, which was also relatively simple. We take the mas form, take off the mas, put te on. Shimas becomes shite, kimas becomes kite. And then we've done the slightly more complex Group 1 verbs, but we've remembered, hopefully, that there's only 4 ways to transform these verbs. Ao, aimas, becomes atte. Also in that same group, we have the ru verbs, kaeru, kaite, and the te, the tu, matsu, natte, natte. We've got the unique group verbs that finish with ku, like kaku, kaku, to read, which gets replaced with ite, kaite, kaite, kaite. Hiraku. Oyogu for swimming becomes oyoide. Hiraku, which means to open 2 doors at the same time, so spread open wide. Hiraku is hiraite. We also should remember that there's only one su that becomes shite. So oshite, sashite, kaishite, ukenagashi. Here's one you know already. So ukenagashi, ukenagashi. The final part of ukenagashi is nagasu, which means to flow, to flow. Nagasu becomes nagashi, ukenagashi, ukenagashite, nagashite, nagashi. Okay. Sasu, sashinari, you know that. Okay.
Makes everything sense.
Yeah. Sorry, Patrick. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. So earlier on we said keiki o ryori shite kudasai to make.
Mm-hmm.
For one thing, can you flip that? Can you say ryori o keiki shite kudasai? Because then.
So ryori suru becomes a kind of verb unto itself. That then becomes one thing. Ryori shimasu, like shigoto shimasu or unten shimasu. And then you need to mark the object, what you're doing to, with o, ideally. So keiki ryori o, yeah. So even if you said keiki ryori o shite kudasai, makes it sound like you're saying, please do cake cooking, which isn't grammatically incorrect, but it just sounds a bit weird. So you really want to say, please cook a cake. Please cook a cake. So to be very natural sounding, it would be keiki o ryori shite kudasai. Yeah.
So you would combine ryori shite as like making that into a verb.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is probably a good way to think about it. If you don't have a separate object, if you just say I'm going to work or I'm going to cook, then you can either say shigoto o shimasu or shigoto shimasu. But you can hear the o goes between shigoto and shimasu. But if you want to add another bit of detail, I will work on my my project. Projecto o shigoto shimasu. The shigoto shimasu becomes one verb into itself. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So if you can, between now and next week, if you can master the te form, then you will be approximately week 10 of a normal Japanese language class, because they usually add lots of vocabulary first, and then everybody hits the te form and suddenly goes, Japanese is really hard. But if we can get the te form done now, we would have done one of the hardest parts of Japanese language, and it will open doors to lots of other things as well. Any final questions, guys? Any final problems? Great. Thanks for your time today. Thanks for your time this evening, today,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you.
Tom, yeah, Tom, go ahead.
So Constantina put the book of on the drive. I know
It's
somebody that
expired.
has the original book. It's 2 books with the CDs, so I can get
Oh.
also the sound fragments.
Yes.
Ooh.
Amazing.
This is
I need
Japanese
to
for
get
busy
it.
people.
Yeah, Japanese for busy people. I have I have from a friend the 2 originals, and the CD is in there. So
Good.
I can give the ISBN number to see if it's the new version, old version. But for I think the most of the exercises will be the same. So I can get the sound fragments.
Yeah, that'll be great.
As the I have to take a little bit of responsibility.
Copyright,
here.
of course.
Yeah, I'm just saying now on record. Of course, there are copyright issues. If you choose to do it, then it's up to you.
We all go to jail. We all go to jail.
That's not
Jigoku.
It's Konstantina. That's not my concern. My concern is that I don't go to jail. I don't care if you guys go to jail.
Jail Goku.
Jail Kudasai.
Cool. Thanks, guys. I shall either see you later
Thank you very
or
much.
Thank you,
see you next
Sensei.
week.
See you. Bye.
Matane.
Matane.
Matane. Kiyotsukete.
Matane.
Matane.
Matane.